And in some, like Jesus told Judas, and Jesus and Judas is a perfect example of how to live this life with people that don't mean you well, right? It takes a wisdom from God. You definitely got to have a prayer life, because your flesh is going to want to tell them where to get off at. You know what I'm saying? But with that, you have to look at how Jesus handled Judas. He never mistreated Judas. Whenever they went out, when the woman went to anoint Jesus' feet with all the ointment or whatnot, the alabaster box, Jesus, listen, he knew what was in Judas' heart. He knew Judas was going to betray him. But guess what? He still trusted Judas with the treasury. He still trusted him. And so when the woman poured out her oil on Jesus' feet, Jesus knew what Judas was going to say. He knew what he was going to say. And what did Judas say? Oh, this could have been sold for so much X amount of money, right? Because he was into the money. He was into prestige and all that stuff. Jesus knew full well what he was doing. Sometimes God will give you a season where he will grace you to allow people in your circle. And I'm actually dealing with this right now. He will grace you to allow people in your circle, and they're smiling in your face and stabbing you in the back the whole time. And they think you don't know it. That's why Jesus said, did not choose 12, and I know one of you is a devil. And then when he got to the table at the last dinner, he said, one of you have betrayed me. He knew. He knew. You got to know your circle. You need to know who you can trust. You need to know who you can trust, right? Because there's levels of trust. And you got to know those that like I said last night, I can't trust you from here to the mailbox, right? But I need you right now in this season of my life. I need you. Jesus needed Judas. Judas was Jesus' ticket to Calvary.
Yes.
And so for that cause, there may be people in your life that get on your everlasting nerves, but they got the ticket to connect you to the next person. And so your flesh may say, you know what, I'm done, don't call me, leave me alone. And you could prematurely end a season because your flesh, you just don't have the stamina or the maturity to continue to allow that person, even though you know they get on your everlasting nerves and they don't mean you no good. And so there will be times that you will have to allow some people in your circle that don't have your best interest at heart, but they're serving a greater purpose. Judas served a greater purpose. But our job in that is, Jesus never mistreated Judas.